Welcome to Lightning Ministries Daily Devotional. Today's topic, Field Trip of Hope. We're reading from Psalms 119, verses 65 to 72, where it talks about how the Lord has treated us and how we have disobeyed by not following Him. You know, when we were still in school, at least I remember, most of us probably referred to the hands-on learning of field trips to classroom lectures. A lot of adults, however, no doubt wish that they could have absorbed life's lessons from a book instead of from their own painful mistakes. Boy, don't I know that's true. But the truth is, there are some things you and I learn best through experience. Some trials in our lives are the result of sin and can play a big corrective role in your life and also in mine. God might use them to draw our attention to unhealthy habits, attitudes, and activities we have tolerated or overlooked for many years. No matter how trivial that we may see them, they're still sin, and it should be and should not have a place in our lives as believers. Now, it could be that God is showing you or myself something we need to release to Him. Perhaps a relationship or ambition or a goal or a purpose that we thought God was drawing us to. But sometimes God calls you and I to exercise self-control so that we can pursue Him to a greater depth and degree. Now, if we never had any troubles, you and I would continue in what's comfortable, easy, and for that matter, enjoyable. But I realize that we might end up missing God's best for our lives by doing that. Now, that's why here in the Psalmist book of 119, it is good for me that I have been afflicted so that I may learn your laws. You know, any hardship that drives you or I to God and His Word is good for us. That's because what we gain in knowing the word of the law or the word of the Lord is worth so much more than any wealth or worldly possessions that we could ever get, including fame. You know, realize that the trials and tribulations of our life are not exactly what we expect. I also heard someone say not too long ago through a sermon I was listening to that if we're searching for wealth in our lives while we're here instead of the Lord, we're probably never going to find it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that good business people don't make good business sense to make good business worthwhile. But if it's an end to a means, there never is an end. You're always trying to get more. You're always thinking that one more dollar. You're watching how you spend and how you give and how you share with what, well, either you may think it's yours or what really belongs to God. But whichever way you focus, you got to put God first. That's what the Word says. And by putting Him first, then your trust won't be on your wealth or your riches or your job or your marriage or your friends or whatever. Your trust will be in the Lord. I challenge you today that whatever field trip you're on, find it a field trip of hope. A hope of learning and understanding what God is wanting from you more than what you're wanting from God. Hey, I want to thank you first for taking the time out to listen. I hope that in some way, small or large, you've been encouraged by this message. I would encourage you to leave us a comment. I would also encourage you to give, whichever God leads you to do. Thanks for listening again, and have a blessed day.